Throughout history, humanity has dared to believe in its own strength, convinced that we are the masters of this world. But the Bible presents us with a chilling reminder of just how limited we truly are, a creature so terrifying and indomitable that even the bravest would tremble. This is Behemoth. Found within the book of Job, Behemoth stands as one of God's most powerful creations, a beast so massive and mighty that no human force can subdue it, no weapon can harm it, and no amount of human intellect can fully comprehend it. Why would God create such a creature? And why can only God destroy him? What purpose does Behemoth serve in a world that humanity believes it can control? Perhaps Behemoth exists to shake us from our illusions, to remind us that no matter how advanced or powerful we may think we are, there are forces that will forever remain beyond our reach. In a world where we trust technology, science, and human ingenuity above all, Behemoth raises an unsettling question: are we as powerful as we think, or are we merely players in a world governed by forces we will never master? Today we confront the untamed power of Behemoth and explore what it means for our existence. Is this creature merely a relic of ancient myth? Or is it a divine warning to a world that has grown too confident in its own capabilities? As we dive into the mystery of Behemoth, prepare yourself for a journey that may force you to question everything you thought you knew about human power and our place in God's creation. Behemoth is not just a creature, it is a testament to the limits of humanity, a reminder that true power lies not in our hands, but in the hands of the Creator. Let's begin. During the time of Job, humanity's understanding of the natural world was limited and powerful. Mysterious creatures like the Behemoth were seen as symbols of transcendent forces beyond human comprehension. These mythical beings were not only a source of fascination, but also a reminder of human frailty and limitations in the face of nature's vastness. In ancient Jewish culture, the Behemoth was more than just a powerful creature, it represented the boundless strength of God. By creating beings like Behemoth and Leviathan, God wanted to remind humanity of humility and our limited perspective before His greatness. This creature appeared as a way for God to manifest His power, warning mankind that there are forces beyond human control. Such a notion was not limited to the Jewish faith. Across cultures, humanity has crafted tales of giant, mythical creatures symbolizing forces beyond our understanding. In Eastern mythology, dragons represent immense natural power, wild, untamable beings that can bring blessings or disasters. Like Behemoth, these dragons are not demonic. Instead, they embody a force that humans must respect and learn to live alongside. In Mesopotamia, we find the god Marduk, who battled the sea monster Tiamat, a chaotic, primeval force. Much like Behemoth and Leviathan represent land and sea forces, Marduk and Tiamat reflect the eternal clash between order and chaos. These myths suggest a shared human belief that certain natural powers are so vast they can only be controlled by supreme beings. Behemoth, then, is far from random or merely frightening. It is part of a broader concept of unchallengeable power, present in every culture and society. Behemoth, Eastern dragons, and Tiamat alike serve as a stark reminder to humanity that certain forces forever remain beyond our grasp and beyond our control. The Behemoth is first mentioned in the book of Job, chapter 40, where God speaks to Job about the greatness of his creations. The Behemoth is described as one of the most powerful creatures created by God. The text says that he eats grass like an ox, but possesses such strength that his muscles, bones, and sinews are compared to iron and bronze. He stands at the pinnacle of God's creations among the beasts. This description attributes the behemoth with qualities beyond those of an ordinary animal. He is a being of truly mythical power. The mention of his massive bones and muscles indicates his invincibility and grandeur. Behemoth serves as a testament to God's omnipotence, a power so immense that it defies human understanding. This creature, with bones as strong as iron and sinews that cannot be broken, symbolizes the infinite strength of the Creator. Some scholars suggest that the behemoth might be a hyperbolic representation of a real animal, possibly a hippopotamus or an elephant. However, it is important to remember that the behemoth, in the context of the Book of Job, has more symbolic meaning. His physical strength is just one facet of his greatness, which emphasizes God's power. The behemoth symbolizes not just physical might but also the grandeur of God's creation, which cannot be fully understood or subdued by humans. His immense power and invincibility are an example of how powerful God is, who was able to create such a being. It is important to note that the text emphasizes his connection to bodies of water. He rests under lotus plants and in river reeds, highlighting his harmony with nature and his connection to the natural environment. The Book of Job says that the behemoth fears no one and nothing can break him. His powerful bones are like iron bars, and his muscles are so strong that no weapon can defeat him. Humans cannot catch or tame the behemoth, and his strength surpasses anything people can imagine. This invincibility emphasizes the idea that the behemoth symbolizes a power beyond human control. People with all their knowledge and technology are unable to subdue him. This makes the behemoth an image that highlights the limits of human capabilities in the face of God's power. Though possessing incomparable strength, Behemoth lives peacefully, without flaunting its power. It rests beneath lotus plants, seeking shade by the riverside, existing harmoniously in nature without needing to assert itself. Behemoth's quiet existence reminds us that true strength lies not in boasting or dominance, but in inner peace and balance with the world around us. In today's world, we often feel the need to demonstrate our power, achievements, and status, striving to prove ourselves in front of others. However, Behemoth is a model of strength found in calmness and acceptance. It has no need to struggle because its power is inherent, secure in its role within God's design. The image of Behemoth invites us to realize that sometimes the greatest power is found in the ability to accept and live peacefully with ourselves and the universe. While humanity constantly seeks validation through fame and control, the most precious possession may, in fact, be inner tranquility and gratitude for life's blessings. His strength lies in his calm and unshakable nature. This image serves as a reminder that true power does not need to be demonstrated. He is not afraid because he knows that no one can harm him. In this sense, the Behemoth becomes an example of absolute tranquility and confidence that stems from his nature given to him by God. In the Book of Job, God explicitly states that only he can deal with the Behemoth. When Job was enduring immense suffering and questioning the justice of God, the Lord appeared to speak directly to him. In this dialogue, God did more than answer Job's questions. He used the image of the Behemoth to illustrate his own unparalleled power. God asked Job, "Can you create a creature as mighty as Behemoth? Do you possess the strength to subdue forces of nature as I do?" These questions served not only to affirm God's strength, but also to remind Job and all of us that humanity is only a small part of God's boundless creation. God emphasized that only he holds the authority to control magnificent creatures like the Behemoth, whose existence lies beyond human understanding. Job, hearing these words, fell silent, realizing he had no right to question God's intentions. This dialogue underscores that, in acknowledging our humility before God's infinite power, we find peace and acceptance for that which we cannot comprehend. This emphasizes that the behemoth is not just an animal, but a manifestation of a force of nature that God controls. Only God can command or destroy him, because he is the creator of all things. The behemoth serves as a reminder that there are things beyond human control and understanding. God, as the creator, has power over all aspects of creation, including the most powerful and incomprehensible beings. The behemoth's invincibility underscores God's omnipotence. Only he can command forces that seem invincible to humans. It is also important to note that, in the context of God's dialogue with Job, the mention of the behemoth carries deep meaning. God shows Job that there are limits to human understanding and control. Even the mightiest of creatures obeys only its creator. For Job, who sought to understand the reasons for his suffering, this image serves as a symbol that only God possesses true knowledge and power over all things, including life's trials and tribulations. In daily life, we can also draw lessons from Behemoth on how to deal with things beyond our control. Life is full of situations that elude our grasp: work pressures, complex relationships, unexpected events. Like Behemoth, we can find strength in accepting that not everything is within our power. Rather than resisting or seeking to change everything, sometimes the best course is acceptance, seeking inner peace, and understanding that there is a grander order at play, one beyond our sight. Behemoth, in everyday life, symbolizes gratitude for what we have and acceptance of what we cannot change. It teaches us that strength comes not only from control but also from the ability to let go. The daily struggles and stresses we face are like small behemoths. In each of our lives, opportunities to practice acceptance and to find peace by trusting in a higher power guiding us through these difficulties. When facing challenges, rather than succumbing to fear or resistance, we can learn from Behemoth's example. By accepting that there are things we cannot overcome alone, we can discover peace in trusting that a greater force is guiding us through our trials. God reminds Job that not everything is within human reach, and that true wisdom lies in recognizing one's limitations and trusting in God, who alone can control the world. The behemoth also carries symbolic meaning. He represents all the forces in the world that are beyond human control. This could be nature itself or complex life circumstances that people cannot handle on their own. God reminds Job that there are things over which only he has power, and the behemoth is a symbol of this divine control. Interestingly, the behemoth is often mentioned alongside another powerful creature, the Leviathan. The Leviathan is described in the book of Job as a sea monster, just as invincible and powerful as the behemoth. These two creatures represent opposing forces of nature, land and water, and together they symbolize the entirety of God's creation. The behemoth embodies the earth and stability, while the Leviathan symbolizes the chaos and danger of the sea. Both highlight the greatness of God, who created and controls them. For Job, who is going through difficult times and questions justice, the mention of the behemoth and Leviathan serves as a reminder of God's greatness and power. Even in the most challenging situations, when everything seems insurmountable, it is important to remember that only God has power and control over all. The symbolism of these beings reminds people that regardless of the strength and chaotic nature of circumstances, God remains sovereign and almighty. So, the behemoth is not just a mythical creature but a powerful symbol of God's creation and his might. His invincibility shows us that there are forces that are only subject to God, and no human can control them. It is a reminder that God is above all creation and that only He possesses true power over the world. As we come to the end of this journey, let's pause and reflect on what Behemoth truly represents, not just a powerful creature in the Bible, but a symbol of the awe-inspiring, untamable forces that remind us of our own limitations. Behemoth's story challenges us to look beyond our day-to-day lives, our ambitions, and our constant pursuit of control, and instead consider our place within a much grander design. Imagine for a moment the feelings Job must have experienced as he listened to God describe the behemoth, a creature so mighty, so beyond human understanding, that even the strongest humans could not tame or defeat it. Job, who had lost everything and faced unimaginable suffering, came to realize that his struggles, his questions, and his doubts were part of a vast, divine tapestry woven by God's hands. In that moment, he understood that, even in his pain, he was not alone. He was held within the unbreakable embrace of a Creator who understood and controlled all. This story invites us, too, to confront our own doubts and fears. It speaks to all of us who have faced challenges that felt overwhelming, moments when life seemed chaotic and beyond our grasp. Behemoth teaches us that even in those times of struggle, when we feel small and powerless, there is a strength that lies in surrendering to a force greater than ourselves, a force that has the wisdom and power to see what we cannot. Behemoth's quiet, powerful presence reminds us that there is beauty in accepting our limits, in trusting that there are mysteries we will never solve and forces we will never control. Just as Behemoth lives in harmony with nature, secure in its role within creation, we too are called to find our place within God's plan and embrace it with humility. So as you leave today's story, take a moment to reflect on your own behemoths, the things you cannot control, the struggles you cannot fully understand. Be reminded that these are not burdens to bear alone, but opportunities to surrender, to grow, and to find peace in the knowledge that you are part of a divine design that holds you, just as it holds everything else. What does Behemoth mean to you? How do you see its story speaking to your life? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear how you interpret this powerful symbol and what lessons you might take from it. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of the Bible's most mysterious and awe-inspiring creations. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories that challenge, inspire, and remind us of the vastness of God's creation. Until next time, let's carry with us the quiet strength of Behemoth, a strength that teaches us not just to endure, but to trust, to surrender, and to live in peace.